Hello, Potter Than Hellions. Welcome back to the Potter Than Hell podcast for this special little mini Rockin' Pod Expo episode here. And me and Dylan are here. How you doing, Dylan?
Good. How about you?
I am doing great. We're going to release this episode here. It's two interviews that we did at the Rockin' Pod Expo. We have the guys from the Rock and Roll Residency, Ryan Spencer Cook, Jeremy Asbrock, and Phil Souse, and those guys. It was a great interview. And what do you think, Dylan?
It's cool that these guys are such a versatile band that they could virtually play anything that someone throws at them. I'm really excited to see them at some point.
Yeah, they were fantastic. They played the night before we did the interview with them. And one question I forgot to ask them that I really wanted to ask them was how many songs do these guys actually play? Because I've seen them several times, and you know, they always shake up their set list, and plus they play all the Gene stuff and all the Ace stuff, so it's just crazy the amount of stuff that these guys do.
Yeah, I was looking forward to hearing what they had to say. They've obviously had pretty awesome careers, and they're doing really well.
Yeah, it seems like these guys are just in big demand everywhere now that they've been put out in the forefront, and I'm glad because these guys deserve it. They are absolute professionals. And they just rock right down. I remember I talked to Ryan. You'll hear in this interview when he was with Hair of the Dog. I got to see them play live once, and just fantastic. And it's great to see those guys getting out there. And then we interviewed Jack Gibson from Exodus. Just a really cool, mellow kind of guy. You know, if you talk to this guy, you know, if you listen to him, you wouldn't think he'd be in this crazy fucking thrash band that just like tears your head off, but he gives a great interview, and I have his information, so we're going to get together with Jack hopefully for a full interview. These are short interviews like the Michael Sweet and Roxy Blue ones. What do you think about the Jack Gibson one, though?
Pretty cool. I am a big Exodus fan, a band that I need to delve into the catalog a little farther, and it's cool hearing somebody who's been there for such a long time, and hopefully will still continue to be there as the band goes on.
Yeah, definitely. And if you listen to the interview, he gives us a scoop because I don't think I've heard what he tells me anywhere else. So definitely check it out.
Guys, thanks. Like these guys just introduced themselves. We are here with the Rock and Roll Residency, who absolutely kicked fucking ass last night.
Thank you. I always wonder what band name the interviewers are going to call us. I always wonder what band name the interviewers are going to call us.
So how many times did you get Gene's backing band or Ace's backing band? They didn't call you the.
They still call us like, oh, I saw Gene's band backing up Ace.
Yeah,
it's not Ace.
That's not the story.
Yeah. It's all good.
Definitely.
At least they know us. Yeah.
Speaking of which, actually, I have a poster for you guys to sign too from
cool.
these shows. And
cool.
Yeah. And Ryan, I want to start with you. I talked to you before Kiss Cruise 6.
I remember. Okay.
I talked to you about when you were with Hair of the Dog.
That's right. Yeah.
And you played a local venue of ours, Tinks in Scranton.
Tinks. We were just in Scranton again with Ace, weren't we?
Wilkes-Barre.
Yeah.
We stayed in Scranton.
Right. Yeah. I remember Tinks had a really nice big concrete hole in the middle of the stage.
Right in the middle of the stage. Yeah, absolutely. It's still there. It's like a dance club now.
I remember Tinks. Yeah.
So, do you guys ever play any Hair of the Dog stuff?
No, man. It's like I'm still in touch with Boot like every week. He and I talk all the time. He's a North
show though.
We did a couple years ago. We did a couple years ago. Jared and Phil and Christopher. We just got together and did a set one night.
Oh shit.
But Boot's in Northern California. John's back in his hometown of Farmington Hills, which is a suburb of Detroit. And Johnny, our original drummer, is in Vegas. And then our drummer after him, Dupke, is in Los Angeles, and he was with Wasp for like 10 years. Eric Sardinas. He's keeping busy. He's an instructor at MI now.
Okay.
Yeah, good guy.
Cool.
Good guy.
Absolutely.
They're all good dudes. Boot and I talk like every week.
Right. And we got to see you guys, not myself, BB, myself, and one of our other hosts. We got to see you guys do the 78 Ace solo live
that was
down in New Jersey.
Indy or New Jersey?
New Jersey.
Right.
New Jersey.
Yeah.
And fantastic. PA sucked there, though.
Well, it blew out.
And we didn't know.
We didn't know because we still had gas on stage.
You still had your monitors, right?
Our amps were still working.
Front of house went out. That's right.
So we didn't know front of house went out. But that was still a really cool few days for us because we never rehearse with Ace. Ever. If he wants to, we will.
Right.
And the cool thing about that, particular weekend was we locked out a studio there in Jersey and went rehearsed for a couple days and just had a real good time with him hanging out and rehearsing. It was just fun to play different stuff, you know. I mean, our sets are pretty consistent that he makes, and doing that record, there was so much stuff that we never do, like Speeding Back and Ozone, Fractured Mirror, Neil Love. That Jeremy dialed in the delay perfect for that whole.
That was great.
So that was a cool few days, just because we got to spend some extra time with him, actually going over stuff.
And with rehearsals like that, locked in for 2 days, comes a lot of stories about recording each track. So that was.
They usually start with, "I was high on cocaine."
I was doing a lot of cocaine in those days. Yeah.
That's awesome. Ace has got to be a great hang.
Absolutely.
I'm sure Gene is too.
Absolutely, both guys.
And Phil, how was your transition from guitar to bass?
I loved it. I loved playing bass. It was a volunteer thing because I counted 4 guitar players. When we got the Ace gig, I went, well, I'll do it.
Someone's got to do it.
Yeah, I'll do it. No, I really love it. Yeah,
Yeah.
not gonna get rid of me. No, I love it.
When you guys are picking your set list, because I got to see you guys with Gene also when you got played down in Philadelphia.
Oh, cool.
Oh, it's a Trocadero.
Yeah.
I heard they closed
Rest in
it.
peace.
I heard they closed it. That's too bad.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, they
I
closed
did my
it.
vault there too.
Great, man. Oh, no way.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
So what were your gifts in the vault?
I actually I'll tell you what I got all together afterwards because I don't want to.
Sure.
I told them, but I got the European license plate.
Okay.
Nothing crazy. Oh, I got one of the Tyvek jackets.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
The orange one or the silver one?
The orange one.
Oh, that's
the orange
great.
One. Yeah.
You know, they quit making those because they were catching on fire.
Yeah. I mean, you could probably put it on maybe a 6-year-old.
Yeah, totally.
Oh,
wow.
At least you didn't get a handwritten set list by me.
Yeah.
Somebody else got it.
Really?
Yeah.
We saw it today.
That'd be cool.
We signed it today. Yeah.
Man, I'd be mad if I got that.
And whose idea was it to do Got Love for Sale?
Shit, I don't know.
Gene asked, he said, what are some cool Kiss tunes that we can do?
We all sat
And we
and
just
selected
okay.
three of us.
No way.
We went for everything they don't do. Got Love for Sale.
Charisma.
I.
Sweet
She's so
Pan,
European.
Almost human.
Almost human.
That's awesome because Got Love for Sale is my
Whatever we
favorite
did
song.
at the very first show was
I will tell you this. Cleveland, that first show, that was the first time that Got Love for Sale had been performed live by any member of
And
Kiss.
Charisma.
That's amazing.
Big Charisma on that too.
That is, and they're 2 fantastic songs. And any other plans with Gene coming up after their tour?
He says there are,
He
but
says so.
we don't have anything, you know. So we'll just take his word for it.
That's cool. Was there any resistance for any song choices at all?
Yeah.
Ace
Love 'Em and
or
Leave 'Em.
Gene?
Yeah, Love 'Em and Leave
Love 'Em and Leave 'Em.
'Em. Rockin' in the
Rockin' in the
USA.
USA.
Yeah.
He would say it's too poppy. It's too pop.
Really?
Like,
We never did
we're doing Eyes Make for
Larger
Loving
Than
You.
Life too. Larger Than Life we always wanted to do also. We didn't do Larger Than Life.
But man, but we got told yes more than we got told no. Like, I mean, like Sweet Pain, and she's like, Sweet Pain.
Sweet Pain's amazing.
I was
Yeah.
just been dying to do. And again, that's another one that they hadn't done.
Yeah.
You know, just seeing stuff like that. I saw them do Almost Human on a cruise one year.
They did Sweet Pain like 2 years ago.
Yeah, they did.
They did that one.
Yeah. But just killer stuff.
Absolutely killer. And I have an idea for you guys.
Okay.
Okay? I want you guys to record an album.
Okay.
One side with Gene and one side with Ace. Oh, wow. All original music. Now, that would be fucking
That's pretty
awesome.
cool.
That sounds expensive.
They got the money. I think they'll back you.
So that would be all you guys have to do. Just record the music and they can let
I would
sing
love
it.
that.
Let Ace do the solos.
I'd love that.
You guys do the solos.
I'd love that.
That'd be crazy. That'd be
Here
absolutely
we are, the
crazy.
band called Space Demon.
Yeah. Good name.
Definitely. Now, you guys said when you guys did the 78 solo album, I'm going to go back to that real quick, that you guys were going to perform it and record it. Is that still something that's
It's up to Ace.
in the works?
We want to. Our answer is yes, we're ready to do it.
Okay.
He's just got to get it together, get the plans together to do it and make it happen, but we would love to do it.
That's cool. So now, when you guys did the Kiss Cruise with Ace, right?
Yep.
The other songs you guys did, like Dark Light and all that.
Anita Love. We done the Anita Love. That's
No, we didn't do I'm in Need of Love. That was definitely extra. We did 2 sides of the coin.
Torpedo Girl.
Torpedo Girl. and Dark Light.
What am I thinking of?
Getaway.
Yeah, we did Getaway.
We did something from the album. So we added a solo album too. Speeding Back.
What did we do
What's on
from
your
Dynasty?
mind?
What did we do off of Dynasty?
What's on your mind?
Hard Times.
Maybe.
Hard Times.
Hard Times.
We did Hard Times.
Oh, we did Save Your Love.
That's what I meant. Save Your Love. I meant
Yeah.
Save Your Love. There you go.
We opened with that.
Yeah,
First
we
show.
did. We
Yeah.
did. On the pool deck.
That was a great opening song.
That was cool.
Phil, you absolutely fucking killed. In a good way, Torpedo Girl, the bass.
Oh, thanks.
Holy shit,
That was my shining moment.
I'm like, I'm actually hearing this song live. It's like my head is just gonna blow up.
You know what's funny? Gene obviously didn't play that on the album, but Gene knows that lick. Gene would play that all the time. And actually, in either one of the recent Kiss shows we saw on this tour, when they had the jam at the end of Let Me Go Rock and Roll, Gene played that.
The lick.
Oh, yeah?
Whoa!
Oh shit!
Yeah,
That's awesome.
so he knows that. He learned it. It's
That's
pretty cool.
great. What are some of you guys' favorite songs you guys have been playing with Ace and G?
Oh shit. Watching You, I still love a lot. We're doing that with Ace.
We just saw you guys in Wilkes-Barre. That song has got such a great groove to it.
We love it. One that we're really pushing for, fingers crossed, we'd love to do Got to Choose.
Yeah, I mean, we've done it before. We got that one together.
We played it together so much, and that's one of
If we could
Ace's
insert
classic
Ace on
songs.
that, man, that'd be
absolutely.
really good. Yeah. With Gene, I loved Charisma a lot. That was a good one to do. And with Ace, I'd love to do anything off that 78 record that
Yeah,
we're
man.
not doing.
Speeding Back would be fun to put back in.
Yeah, that's great.
Doing Wipeout. Wipeout was fun. I mean, all that stuff was great. Anything off the 78 record we'd love to do.
I don't know if you guys could even answer this. Why does Ace have so many Kiss songs in this city? Like that aren't Ace
Not even
songs?
the ones he sang.
Right.
Well, I know Deuce is because it's the one he auditioned on.
Right.
I can answer this. He didn't sing, or he wrote some stuff, but he didn't sing until '77. And man, so he was the guitar player. Those are his iconic solos, and he deserves to get to play them. I mean, just because he's not in Kiss, that means he never gets to play his iconic solos again. That's bullshit.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, if I went to an Ace show and he didn't play any Kiss songs, I'd be fucking pissed.
Yeah.
And you know what? And that's a great point too, because it gives him a break too.
Sure.
Right?
Sure.
So you guys get to sing.
Yeah. Sure.
And it's fantastic. I can't wait to see you guys. You guys have any upcoming shows with Ace?
Atlanta next week, Lexington next week.
Then
break, and then we start
End of November we go.
September.
And the end of September we go to Northeast again?
We started in Annapolis.
Okay.
And then there's somewhere in New Jersey.
We're booked into December right now.
Poughkeepsie.
Yeah.
Homer, which I never heard of.
Homer, New York.
Homer, New York. We just show up, man. We just show up.
Excellent. And Ryan, we talked to you yesterday in the elevator. You guys did all you guys go to the Slash show down here?
They did not.
Oh no.
They did not. They had a
I was talking to Ryan yesterday about the Slash show.
Yeah, I couldn't. We couldn't make it.
Outstanding. That was the best I'd ever seen him. I've seen him probably
Do you know
5 or
him?
6.
Do you know him? No.
I've met acquaintances, but he would remember me. No, but we know Todd and Brett real well because Brett played with us with Gene, and we met Todd because of Brett.
That's awesome.
Good guys. Good guys. Yeah.
What are you guys have any plans to record anything at all, or just kind
No,
of?
man.
Not really.
Just enjoy what you're doing.
We're just trying to stay on the road and keep up with all the dates, and we just keep hoping that, like I said, we're booked into December right now. We just keep hoping that every morning we check email and there's more dates.
No.
You know, so our basic
you
thing
guys,
right now.
you guys are like just busy killing it.
Yeah, we're busy, so that's good.
Yeah. How do you guys pick your set list for like a show like you guys did last night? You guys did like
Well, it depends on the
That was
guests.
shit when you guys did Pat Travers.
That one.
Oh,
Yeah.
Smoking Whiskey, that's one of our favorites.
That one was kind of, you get the guests first, and then you kind of just pick other stuff. We didn't want to make it too difficult, so we picked a lot of things that we really knew, the ones we did just ourselves.
And also, we have Paulie Simmons last night. He's not our regular drummer, so we kind of took it easy on him. He's played with us in the past, so we leaned heavy on a set list that he had done with us before.
Yeah.
Right, that's amazing. I mean,
And then the guests picked their songs, like Michael obviously picked Van Halen and Soldiers.
And we've played with Brian Forsyth several times and have done That Smell a lot. And then he picked the Bad Company too.
Really?
So yeah, it's kind of like we hit all them up and said, give us some ideas and we can learn them.
He's got such a Stones
God, he's
feel to him. I mean,
absolute coolest.
And who was the guy that played on the ZZ Top song, Beer Drinkers and Hellraiser?
Ricky Dover Jr., who was phenomenal. I love that
He's
guy.
a badass.
He is
walking
great.
around here today somewhere.
I didn't know who he was.
He's here.
He was really good.
Yep.
Cool
You
dude.
guys,
Cool dude too. He's so great.
Just
He's so
absolutely
nice.
shred.
It's like effortless for you guys. It's amazing. And you're having fun.
It's a blast. We love doing it.
It's gotta
you
be.
can tell you guys are friends. Like some bands, you can kind of see they're kind of. I'm here, you're there, you're there.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, you guys are.
Well, if we're not up there, we're down here. We're hanging out all the
Right.
time. So
Right. Awesome.
it's good.
All right, guys. Thank you. Thank you for your time. Hope
Awesome.
Thank you. Thank you. All right.
Hey guys, we are here with Jack Gibson, bass player from the awesome fucking thrash band Exodus. And Jack, welcome.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
And I want to say Jack got up and played with the Rock and Roll Residency last night. It was excellent as usual. And I kind of always found it weird when I started watching Exodus videos with you on there that you're a finger player, not a pick player.
Yeah.
And did you always play that way or?
Yeah. I mean, all the guys that I always looked up to were finger guys. Geddy Lee, Billy Sheehan, so when I first started playing bass, I didn't even really think about playing with a pick. I just started with my fingers, you know.
Excellent. And I'm a massive Exodus fan. Got to see you guys. I talked to you a little bit earlier about it. And how do you get pumped up for a show? What's your pre-show routine?
And
You even have one?
I'm famous for getting forced out of bed like 15 minutes before we hit the stage.
No shit.
And like both me and Lee are kind of the same. There really is no. There's no pregame.
Nope, just get up and do it.
Gary warms up for a while. Like Gary warms up for a good 15, 20 minutes on his guitar. Man, I don't warm up at all. Like Lee barely warms up. We just get out there. That first song is our warm up.
Just get out there and do it.
And it'd be really funny. Like I always wanted to like I think on like one of these next tours that I go on, I'm gonna take a GoPro camera with me, and I'm just gonna film, like that minute where we're standing on stage waiting to go on, because the funniest conversations happen.
Oh yeah?
I mean, they don't have anything to do with music. Like you'd think it'd be all like, okay, get ready for this and all this stuff, and we're like talking about like
shooting the shit,
like the furthest away shit that you could possibly think about, and it's like, okay, we got to go, come on, we're like water and run out on the stage, like it's really kind of funny.
That's awesome. Has the vibe of the band changed since Zetro Steve is back?
I mean, one of the things I think is, there's like Zetro has that classic voice of our band, you know what I mean, and so that classic sound of Exodus, kind of came back. I think that Rob, added a particular viciousness to the band, though, and like when Rob was in the band, we were a mean band. Like it was a mean act.
I saw you guys
man,
with Rob, and he brought it. He really brought it.
It was a little more of that Cro-Mags vibe, like that real hardcore, which we can carry, musically. Like the punks always liked Exodus, because it was violent. It's violent music, and like we had some real violent shows with Rob and the band, and Zet's not quite as into like over pumping
really cranking the crowd up. Yeah,
like he's an old rocker, and he does his job and he does it well. You know what I mean? They're just two different styles of it.
because I remember when we saw you guys in Scranton, Pennsylvania, and it was with Testament and Megadeth, and I remember him getting the Wall of Death going, and I was like, holy shit, I'm actually going to get to see this. I didn't participate in it. I thought maybe I was a little too old for that stuff, but it was just crazy to see. And when we were leaving the show, there was fucking blood all over the floor.
Oh yeah, that's not too
of that venue. It was crazy.
Yeah, I've seen all kinds of stuff. Like I've seen like piles and piles of hair out in the crowd after people leave. Like everybody's hair falls, gets pulled out while they're out there. Like it's pretty brutal. That's
crazy.
Yeah.
It must be amazing playing. I'm sure there's a massive difference that you could tell from the crowds in the United States and the crowds in Europe. Like, it seems to me that the crowds in Europe are just like so much more into it than like shows that you would go to here. Do you see that difference?
Yeah, I mean, it depends on the size of the show. Well, I mean, one thing is that like people in Europe are more they're more collective minded than people in the U.S.
Okay.
Like people in the U.S. are very strong individuals.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And that's kind of an American thing, where we're all like totally different than each other, and like we've got our arms crossed. You know what I mean? Whereas in Europe, like they'll all go yeah together. Like it's okay to do stuff
to let yourself loose
as a group more. Like whereas in America, we're a little more selective of who we. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, a little more reserved.
So there's like, especially like at the bigger fests out there, like you can get the whole crowd like, clapping or, like yelling hey with you or whatever. And, they're a little more willing to be like participants in the show, But I mean, to be honest though, like Exodus fans are always participants in the show. I mean, the people who come and get down in front, and
they know what they're there for.
Yeah, and they're all the same. You know what I mean? And it's not like they don't need no help. You know what I mean? So like almost like no matter where we are, we have that core little group of energy, that pushes us along.
Absolutely. And I really like Exodus because I think you guys are a totally, in my mind, a totally different thrash band. Your songs are longer. In the last couple albums, they have more meat to them, a lot more time changes in them, and when you and Tom lock in, I mean, your guys' rhythm section, you guys are just an absolute chugging machine. And talk to us about how you guys interact with one another.
Me and Tom?
You and Tom. Or even the whole band, how it gels.
Well, I mean, shit, I've been playing with him for, over 20 plus years now, and when he spits, I know where it's going to land, man. Like he's my musical brother. I mean, we've been playing, I've been following his ass for a long time now, and I know what he's gonna do, So, and I remember when I first got in the band and I watched Tom and Gary play, and like I remember thinking, man, Gary knows exactly what he's gonna do. You know what I mean? And now it's 20 years later, and so do I. Now I know what he's doing.
That's great. That's great. And I just actually doing the research for the show, I discovered your band Coffin Hunter. Really cool, like heavy bluegrass. Is that what you would?
Yeah, it's kind of outlaw country. It's like hee haw. It's Smokey and the Bandit music.
Yeah, I mean it is not Exodus. I mean that's for sure.
Heck no. It's banjo. It's banjo heavy.
Now, do you play banjo?
I play the banjo on it. I play the guitar. I played mandolin. I played some lap steel, and then I did all the vocals on it.
Now, the main question I wanted to know is, you play banjo on Bonded by Banjo?
Yes.
I always wondered who always played that.
Yeah.
I absolutely love that.
Yeah, no,
it cracks me up, and it's very true to the album version.
Yeah, well, especially his solo.
It's like right there. It's great. Thanks for answering that for me, because I'm like, whoever's playing that is like great. And I'm thinking, did they bring someone else in to play?
No,
one of the guys got it. And I just thought it was Gary.
Yeah, no, that was when I was just kind of learning how to play, and we always like him and Tom always used to sing the hillbilly version of it, and then like it just got kicked around. Oh, let's just do it.
Who sings that?
It's Tom.
Is it Tom?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Tom has like the innate ability of like harmonizing with himself. Shit. Tom also did on the last album. Did you hear the Angel of Death?
Yeah.
The Angel of Death cover that we did from not the Slayer Angel of Death.
I don't think so.
And Tom sings the whole thing with like all the harmonies. It's the
Oh, really? I'm gonna have to look for that. I don't think I've heard that.
the Angel Witch version.
Okay.
Their song, and I mean he did like a 5-part harmony on it, and it is fucking cool, dude.
That's awesome.
Because like Dukes was just screaming it, and then Tom was like, no, he sings it, and then we got in this kind of fight, and Rob was like, well, you come in here and just show me, and then Tom went in and like sang it, and then we were like, all right, Dukes, get the fuck out of here, Rob, and then Tom did like all these harmonies on it, and then we just left him on it because it was too good.
That's great. I'll definitely have to check that out.
Yeah.
What's up with Exodus these days? I know Gary's out with Slayer now.
Yeah,
and,
we're just waiting for the Slayer thing to sink back into the ocean, and then come beginning of the year, him and Tom will start jamming and getting more songs together, and then we'll record it and be back out there as soon as we can.
That's great. And I absolutely loved when you guys recorded the Atrocity B album, when you guys when Rob was videotaping the sessions and everything.
Yeah.
And I thought it was great, and I've always been interested in the production side and the music being made. And when you did the last album, you recorded the guitars and
I did the guitar, bass, and vocals. Yeah, I mean, we were just kind of having trouble scheduling Andy. Andy Sneap's our producer, and he's busy as fuck all the time. And we had been like pushing things back, trying to wait for Andy to have the time to do everything. And I just kind of volunteered. I'd been, doing demo. I've been recording my country band and stuff. And I just said, hey man, like I can do everything but the drums. Let's just get Andy come out, do the drums, and then I'll record the rest of it, and send it to him, and he can mix it. And then everybody thought that was a good idea, and then I just kind of stepped up my game a little bit, and did the guitars and did the guitars and vocals, sent it out to Andy, and then he patched it all together, and it turned out really good. So I think probably I'll do it again on this next one, but I'm not sure. If we had time for Andy to be there the whole time, I'd rather have Andy there the whole time.
Right.
Because he's Andy Sneap, and I'm not. You know what I mean? Like I just like to sit and watch him work. To be honest with you, like
that's got to be amazing, because I rave about Andy Sneap on this podcast all the time, and these guys are probably sick of hearing it. And but when you joined the band, that was when he started his association with the Exodus, also.
Yeah, that was his first record.
Yeah, because you guys you did the live album, Nothing Less Than Violence, which is slamming
Yeah,
album.
I still like that record.
That is absolutely killer.
Yeah.
And any thoughts of a live album coming up with you guys? Have there been
nothing yet. Actually though there is kind of, because there's a box set coming out.
Really?
And it's just a bunch of old stuff. Like it's old, like takes that we never put on records, and like a few old live shows. And that, I'm not sure when that's coming out, but we've been kind of working on putting that together lately. So that should come out eventually.
When is that coming out? Do you have any idea, or is it just still in the works?
It's still in the works, and it keeps getting pushed back too, and stuff like that. But we have some pretty cool stuff. Like we found the old tapes for the Force of Habit demos.
Really?
Yeah, like the demos before they went in to record the album. So that's going to be on there. There's like there's a studio version of Hell's Breath that we did, and we could never figure out what the words are. And then Cragen figured out what the words were, and so Zet's going to put words to Hell's Breath, and that's going to be on there. And then like there's an old Waldorf Astoria, like from way back in the day with Zet, like way before my days. A bunch of stuff like that.
That's cool.
Like a bunch of stuff collectors will be interested in.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Now, how did you get into Exodus?
I was in a band. I got in a band with Tom and Gary called War Dance. A buddy of mine was trying out for the band, and I actually ended up getting the gig, and he didn't. And then it just turned back into Exodus in '97, and then we did the live recording with Bailoff.
That's great
stuff.
Awesome. Jack, I want to thank you for coming on with us. I hope I can get you back on for a full episode, and we can definitely do something. I'm a huge fan, and we really appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Excellent.
Thank you.
All right, guys. Thanks for listening to our interviews from Rockin' Pod 3. We had a great time down there, and Dylan, I really wish you guys could have been there. That was the only missing ingredient down there.
Yeah, it would have been nice. Hopefully next year we can all get down there and have a good time together.
Yeah, I don't mean just you and BC, by the way. Yeah, we had a great time down there with the guys from the Growing Up Rock podcast, Stephen and Sonny, and Chris and David from the and Caton, actually, their buddy Caton, that's been on their episode quite a few times, from the Digital Killed the Radio Star podcast, and Dennis and Bill and Alan from the Ages of Rock podcast, great guys, and everybody else we hung out with down there, Chris Sinzak and Joe Polo, and just everybody down there was such a great time, and hope you guys enjoyed the interviews, and take care of yourselves, take care of each other. We will see you next time, and there will be a next time.